So I got to watch Elon Omar's rant on the steps of Congress. America, as a Minnesotan, I apologize for this woman and her incoherent babblings that we're going to go through here. It's a shame for everyone who lives outside of the 5th District and Hennepin County in Minnesota, because Hennepin County is who elected this woman. Hennepin County is who voted against Donald Trump. Hennepin County is who rules this state. Hennepin County is Minneapolis. You know, the city that burned, the city that started the Summer of Love. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're going to get into this a little bit here. I saw this article here in Zero Hedge. Hornet's nest kicked as Raskin Omar threw a public tantrum over USAID hostile takeover. And this is her rant. We're just going to kind of punch holes in it as it goes here. So
it is really a sad day in America. We are witnessing a constitutional crisis. We talked about Trump wanting to be a dictator on day one, and here we are. This is what the beginning of dictatorship looks like.
This is what it looks like when the majority of Americans vote for somebody and they take power and they mean exactly what they freaking say. This is also what it looks like when a majority of Americans vote against your ideology and put you in the congressional minority.
When you gut the Constitution and you install yourself as the sole power, that is how dictators are made.
Exactly how has he been installed as the sole power, you blithering idiot. If I believe I remember correctly, if memory serves me right, as Iron Chef would say, Donald Trump won the majority of votes in this country, over 50%. A clear majority. And once again, you're in the congressional minority.
What Trump and Elon and all of their cronies are trying to do is take away the constitutional power of Congress. We get to decide. We have the power of the purse.
You have the power of the purse. And what you've been spending that money from that purse on has been deemed by the American people to be not justified. Hence the election of Donald Trump and the election of the Republican majority. Congresswoman.
We get to decide where money is allocated, and it's the executive's power to make sure that that money gets to where it needs to get. When we talk about civil servants being let go, what we are talking about is not saving money. It's essentially saying they can get paid while they're home and their work doesn't get done on behalf of the American people.
This is called a buyout. And in the public sector, I know this doesn't usually happen, being that you've never held an actual job in your entire life, Congresswoman. But this is called a buyout. And civil servants being let go is a beautiful thing in a government as bloated as ours. Buying these people out short term may not feel too good. Long term, it's the best possible thing we could do. Get rid of them.
It is us, taxpayers, who are being ripped off.
Don't even start. Don't even start. You bet your ass it's us taxpayers who are being ripped off. Been being ripped off for years, you incompetent twat.
It is us, taxpayers, who are not getting the resources that we paid into.
It's been us taxpayers who haven't been getting the resources that we've been paying into for years. Years. For those of us who don't receive refunds. For those of us who pay into the system. Yeah. Been getting ripped off for years. You moron. You socialist twat.
So I ask the American people, do you want people at home and getting a paycheck and not providing services to you? The answer is no. Do you want the executive making the only decisions in this country, or do you want the elected representatives that you sent to Washington making those policies?
Those elected representatives we sent to Washington are making those policies, you dim-witted fool. That's why you are in the minority in Congress, the minority in the Senate, and lost the presidency. You babbling idiot.
I am exceptionally upset about USAID.
Oh, tell us all about it there, baby.
I lived in a refugee camp for 4 years as a child surviving civil war. It is the essential programs that USAID provided.
I'm sorry, is that what they call Cedar Riverside right now? Refugee camp? I'm just not clear.
That kept my family and I fed and safe. It is the resources that so many people around the world rely on.
The Ukrainians relied upon it pretty hard. They definitely relied upon it. In 2014, they definitely relied on USAID. Maidan, anybody? You blithering dumbass.
And it is our soft power. Oftentimes, people interact with our country through the military. That does not create love for us, and it certainly does not keep us safe.
Yes, sending the U.S. military across the world does not keep us safe, you moron. Now, after you've cleaned up the floor from all the vomit, I want to show you guys Minnesota, okay? This is the 5th District in Minnesota. The 5th District encompasses... Oh, jeez. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Golden Valley, Robbinsdale, New Hope, Brooklyn Center, Fridley, Hilltop, Columbia Heights, Richfield, Minneapolis. As a former resident of Fridley, Columbia Heights, Brooklyn Center area, that is the bluest of blue you'll ever see. A lot of those people are getting checks. Minneapolis, need I say more? Nationally, you all know what Minneapolis is. Well, North Richfield here, same thing. St. Louis Park, a bunch of do-gooders. And Golden Valley. You have to understand the liberal white guilt that flows through this bloody state, which is incredible when you consider that this was a free state founding. The liberal white guilt in this state is sickening. Sickening. I just want to give you a little, this is an introduction here, and this kind of tells you what the 5th District, what Ilhan Omar's district is.
Trump controversial. If you've been near a TV or digital device this summer, you're probably aware there's a hotly contested Democratic primary in Minnesota's 5th Congressional District, the most solidly blue district in the nation.
The most solidly blue district in the nation. The most solidly blue district in the nation. We're going to show that to you here in a minute. Okay? But I just want to let everyone know what our incompetent, blithering fool of a governor, the almost vice president, that close, guys, that friggin' close, what he thinks.
Well, today, Governor Tim Walz and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan weighed in on the 5th District race, giving their endorsements to the incumbent, Ilhan Omar.
And there you go. 2 peas in a pod. So, Hennepin County, Ilhan Omar. I just kind of want to make this point. I've tried to make this time and time again. Hennepin County went for Kamala Harris, 502,710 votes. Trump, 197,244 votes. That is a difference of 305,486 votes. Okay? Why is that relevant? President Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris received 1,656,979 votes in Minnesota, as where President Donald Trump received 1,519,032 votes. A difference of 137,947 votes. Without Hennepin County, this is a Trump state. And not by a little. By a lot. A lot. That's how blue Hennepin County is, ladies and gentlemen. Hennepin County has a Somali population. Minnesota has a Somali population of approximately 43,000 in the census of 2018. That's a little bit more now. It's a little bit more now. My point in that is that, and I'm going to show it to you here right now. This is the vote totals for the 5th District of Minnesota. 261,000 for Ilhan Omar and 86,000 for Dalia El Akidi. I apologize for butchering that. The point is, even without the Somali population, Ilhan Omar wins. That's how blue it is. She didn't need the Somali population. These white liberals in Minneapolis, Golden Valley, St. Louis Park, Richfield, Fridley, Columbia Heights, and again, Minneapolis, I'll say it twice just to be nice, they didn't need the Somali population to vote this woman in. Their liberal white guilt and their absolute adherence to the Democrat Party assured them that she would be in there. So when you hear her speak, when you hear this woman speak, keep in mind that she does represent her district quite well. And not just the Somali population. The liberals, the socialists, the communists, the quote-unquote anti-fascists, that is definitely in quotation marks from here to the end of this room. Wouldn't know what a fascist was if it fell out of the sky, landed on their face, and started to wiggle. Don't even know the meaning of the damn word. They're in charge. They're in charge. This is why Minnesota will never go red. Because this place exists. That place is receiving more subsistence checks than anywhere else in the state of Minnesota. And nobody there is going to vote against their next meal. And since hundreds of thousands of them have been put on some form of government assistance in this area, they will continue to vote for their next meal. This state is notorious for that. We used to have families coming from Chicago every month to receive a government benefit check just simply because the state would hand it out to virtually anybody. We're that pathetic here. So when I heard this clueless twat was on here flapping her dick liquor, I wanted to say something. And I wanted to make it a little bit more than just her sitting there looking like she's about to give the world's smallest Hummer. I wanted to kind of expose the Minnesota's 5th district is a bunch of socialist, blue-haired liberals, mostly white. The white liberal guilt in this state is going to be its doom. But what isn't going to be doom is me thanking you and me appreciating you listening to me rant about this incoherent twat. Thank you.